Hi, this is Jen Gross, and it's an artsy issue. I'm your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Today, I'm on video 2, and I'm going to introduce you to the Stampin' Up! Gift Box Punchboard. It's a great little accessory that you can use to make boxes in very different sizes and dimensions. Here's one of the small ones, and it has a closure like so. And here it is in the large with the same closure. But today, we're going to do something very, very different. I'm going to show you some different boxes that I've made with this using the Scalloped Tag Topper Punch, which means it looks like this. So you're able to actually close your gift boxes with a sweet little color of ribbon. This will add to your embellishments and other things that you can do with your gift boxes. So how do we do this? Let me show you how. You're going to need 3 items. You're going to need the box puncher, your scallop puncher, and the last thing, your Stampin' Up! Trimmer. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to make the boxes first. With this, you'll see the guide. There is a starting line. There is a diagonal line, which is your diagonal score line. There's a horizontal score line and a vertical score line. These are the things that are going to make the impression so you can put your box together. What's great here is S, M, L, X, small base, medium base, large base, and extra large base. This here would be a small base box because of its size. This base is a large base box because it's a little bit bigger. So let's go ahead and make a box. What you want to do is figure out where you want to start. I have an 8 and 8 piece of paper, and I'm going to make the large box, and I'm going to use the small diagonal line. So that means our line here, the L is one we're going to use, and this S diagonal line is the one we're going to use. So let's go ahead and get started. What you do is you've got this great little ledge here that allows you to put the paper up flush. You're going to want to line it up with your L, and you're going to want to hold it tight. So you line it up with that line, punch, then you take your score side and just follow this little divot here and score your S, which is your small side there, which is your diagonal, and this one is your horizontal, and this is your vertical or your up and down. So you do 3 punch, 3 scores. Turn it again, line it up with the L. Make sure you've got that lined and you're holding it tight. Punch, diagonal line, horizontal line, and your vertical line. And we're going to do that to all 4 sides here. So that way we have a great start to our box. Make sure it's lined up and you're flush. S, horizon, vertical, and then we'll do one more. Again, make sure it's there. Punch, S, let's see, horizon and vertical. So this is what it looks like. You'll see that there's punches on this side. We're going to have to work on this one. Turn your board so that you see this little divot here, which is your horizontal line. What you're going to want to do is put this flush against the board again on that little lip and line up your score line from earlier with this line right here. So you're going to want to make sure it's in the same divot, and all you do is punch. You do that with all 4 sides. And so when you're done, your box will be ready to fold and go, with 2 exceptions. 1, how are you going to attach it? And 2, the scallop portion we're going to do. So, the board also has this other corner here which allows you to do those little hooks so you can hook them together. Now what we're going to do is we'll figure this is north, south, east, and west. So north and south we'll leave alone. We're going to take our east and west side, and what you want to do is you want to make sure that that is flush in there. It's not this way, it's not that way, but it's tight in there, and punch, and you come up with that little corner. That's going to be your hook. You're going to turn it all the way around. Again, make sure that you're going directly across and put that in there again. Make sure it's flush and punch. And there you go. This one, a little bit off, not a big deal. it'll still work. So that's what I mean, you gotta get flush in that corner. So let's get rid of those scraps, and then we'll come up to our next aspect. This is where we use our trimming board, and what we're going to use the blade, and we're going to make a little bit of a mark so that we have a place to put the scallop. One thing is if you do this and you use the scallop tag punch and you put your paper in here, it'll go down to the bottom, but you're not going to get anything really to punch there. And you can do that, that's fine. It'll give you your little hole, but that's not going to make any designs. So what I do, go ahead and fold your side, and then when you come here, fold this up. What you want to essentially do is line that up with one of these lines, and I say line it up in that first full square. You can fold it back and you can pull it back there, but I think if you do that first full square, that's going to give you exactly what you need measurement-wise to cut your scallop tag top. So just cut that little piece off. Then we'll come over to the other side. Again, remember, we're going north and south on this one. So leave those hook corners alone. Go ahead and fold that there. Line that up and hold it so that it stays even. Bring it down to that point right there again with that first full square. Cut it off, and you're good to go. So that's all we need the trimmer for. Now, let's take the scallop tag top punch. Notice what I've got here? Are you familiar with what they call sewing tape? This is sewing tape. Sewing tape is what sewers use so that they can put a little piece of tape that has a measurement on it so they know where their seam line is, where they're hemming, where they're sewing. So it gives them a little bit of a guide as to where they need to keep that fabric as their needle's coming in and they're sewing. So I took actually a piece of that, put it here, so if I have something that I'm bringing in that's bigger to make that scallop punch, I can actually measure it out if it doesn't fit within these grooves, which is kind of cool. If you want to get sewer's tape, go to any sewing shop, any place that sells fabric, and they should have it. Just go ahead and ask them for it. So what do we do here? We put this part of the tag in here, this way, and what you'll see is that it'll come out on this end. So you see our fold line here, and we have our score line there. So right there and right here is one way. Another way is to fold this over and put it in. This way you can kind of measure it crossed right here so you see what you've got. So when you look at the tag, you've got it all in and it looks pretty even, but I'm going to pull it up so that there's that space right there. It matches right up with the edge of that little curly loop. I'm going to punch, and this is what it comes out with. I'm going to do the same to the other side. I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. Make sure that all goes in there. And we're going to go ahead and line it up at the top here again, where those areas are. Pull this in and take a look at it. Looks pretty even. I'm going to pull it up just slightly. There we go, and punch. And there you've got that part. So now the next thing that we need to do, just grab whatever scissors you've got, is to take this little edge and even it out. So you can just take it down to there, you can do it over, you can make a curve. I'm just going to take it down to there. I'm going to do the same with the other side. Put that right in there, take it down to there, turn it over, put it there, take it down to that side, and the last one, put it there, take it down to that side. So that's what you've got. You then have the scalloped edges and the curved top. So when you fold this, one of the nice things with your box, you get this, so it can be used as a bone folder. It's your score. Go ahead and fold your sides in. Make sure you got all of them coming in so that you've got your fold lines going. That helps you out when you're putting your box together. Okay, so we've got that taken care of. And the last one, there we go. So now all the fold lines are done with the exception of these corners. What you want to do with the corners is pull them in. And I just kind of make sure that the corners are lined up, and I just kind of burnish it with my finger on the inside. So again, bring that corner in, make sure that it lines up, and if you want, you can actually go ahead and burnish it with your bone folder. Whatever works best for you. Go ahead and bring it in again, and again with that next one. So this is what you have. Well, I'm going to get a little fancier, because I have it here in red. So that's kind of cool. When you've got the box ready to go, you want to go ahead. Oops, that one doesn't have the hooks. Go back to the white one. Alright, so the white one has the hooks done. Hook that up like that. Take your ribbon. Tie your bow. And it's all wrapped up and good to go. That is how you do the scallop tag top edge. So any of the boxes that you use can have this little bit of a detail on it. It looks great, and you can do it with all the different size boxes. I'm going to tell you though, when you get to the smaller boxes, it's not going to necessarily look the same, but it'll do the same thing. You just have to cut it a little shorter. So play with it, have fun with it, and keep creating. Thank you for sharing this. This has been Jenn Gross, and it is an artsy issue. I hope you enjoyed my second video, and have a great time crafting.